Hi, it's me, Caribbean Andy. I'm here today making cocktails in my living room as per usual. Today I'm really excited because we're going to focus on low ABV cocktails, which I think, one, they're delicious, two, you get to have more things without getting too drunk to enjoy them, and three, it's fun! Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to make 3 different cocktails today. And if you do enjoy these videos, please go ahead and make sure you hit that like button down below. Just give me a thumbs up. That really helps me out. And also, stay tuned till the end of the video. I have a big announcement. And as you can see, I have a variety of vermouths and fortified wines over here. No real classic base spirit. So the first thing we're going to do is actually one of my favorite cocktails. It's a chrysanthemum. We're going to put it in this teeny little glass. And a chrysanthemum, its first printed recipe comes from the Savoy Cocktail book. If you're not familiar, you probably are without even knowing about it, but the Savoy Cocktail book is pretty common. I feel like I saw it on coffee tables growing up. Harry Craddock wrote the book. He was the head bartender of the bar in the Savoy Hotel in London. So today, for our version of the chrysanthemum, you only need 3 ingredients, so it's pretty simple. We're going to use dry vermouth. This is Dolin Dry Vermouth. This is pretty affordable. Dolin is a pretty good go-to vermouth. And then we're just going to do 2 ounces of our dry vermouth. 1 ounce of Benedictine. Benedictine is a very herbaceous liqueur. It's also very sweet, thick, and syrupy. This cocktail is really nice. It's sort of like, as you probably have figured out by this point, a play on a martini or a Manhattan. Classic 2-to-1 ratio. Straight spirit. It's all going to be stirred. And then the original recipe also calls for a few dashes of absinthe. And I have my absinthe right here in this little spray bottle. It's from this souvenir bottle, King of Absinthe. And you can do this. You can do a few dashes right into the cocktail, or even just a bar spoon. You could also spray this right into your mixing glass, but I'm going to rinse the glass like that. 4 quick sprays of our absinthe. And, oh, you can smell the absinthe. Go ahead and strain. Great, and then we are going to garnish this. I know I never garnish anything, but the lemon oil is definitely a key ingredient to this cocktail. So just express the oils over top. Rub it on there a little bit so it makes your hands smell nice. Okay, so this is a chrysanthemum. You get a really nice herbaceousness from the Benedictine and the absinthe. The Benedictine also adds plenty of sweetness, so it's super drinkable. It's like having a really funky, woody herb wine. Try it out. Don't forget, I did say there's an announcement coming at the end of the video. Next up, a super easy one to make. If you enjoy an Aperol Spritz, I highly recommend sometime you try a Lillet Spritz. We're going to be using Lillet Blanc. This, of course, is an aperitif. It's a fortified wine. When I smell it, I think of honeysuckle. I don't know if this is what honeysuckle actually smells like, but that's what that smell makes me think of. So we're going to do a Spritz. Pretty simple. Build it right in the glass, even. And we'll do 2 ounces of our Lillet. Spill some on the mat. Just a dash of our Reagan's Orange Bitters. About 4 ounces of sparkling wine. Fill it up with ice. And then we're just going to top it off with tonic water. Give it a light stir. And again, we're going to garnish it. But again, we're using garnishes that are actually going to affect it. So because of the orange notes in there, expressing those orange oils over top, and that'll be really fragrant. We'll just tuck that right in there. And then I also really like to put an olive inside, to bring out some of the saltier notes of the Lillet. Also, this is very full, so let's go ahead and use a straw. Oh, now that's a treat. Okay, last up for today, we have a cocktail called a bamboo. A bamboo is probably the most widely known sherry-based cocktail. You might want to check out my sherry cobbler video if you enjoy things made with sherry. We're going to be using a Manzanilla Sherry for that today. And again, it is very similar to a martini or a Manhattan, but low ABV. So this cocktail dates back to the 1890s and was originally created in Japan. There's a lot of early recipes for it. Some call for Sweet Vermouth. The original, I believe, called for Dry Vermouth and Fino Sherry. Today we're actually going to be using Dry Vermouth and Sweet Vermouth. We're going to start with our Manzanilla Sherry, and we're going to use 1.5 ounces of it. And pour that right into our mixing glass. And then we're going to use Dolin Sweet Vermouth. And we're going to do 3/4 ounce of that. We'll do 3/4 ounce of our Dolin Dry. I made a mess here. I have to clean this up. No, this goes over here. 3/4 ounces of Dry Vermouth. Sweet and dry. Sort of like a perfect Manhattan. And then we're going to do a dash of orange bitters. We'll do a dash of Angostura bitters. And this is where I could add some simple syrup. I could add a number of other things. I could be finished right here. But I'm going to actually add something fun and wacky. I'm going to put some Amaro in it. I'm going to use Averna, again, just because it's what I have in the house. I would actually like to use something a tiny bit sweeter. We're going to do about 1/3 ounce. I'm pouring just shy of 1/2 ounce. Add that right in there. Definitely adds to the color, but that's also going to add to the texture and the sweetness. If you're using a sweeter, more full-bodied sherry, you can probably leave that out or just do a little tiny bit. Ice our mixing glass in the normal way that they do in every bar. With this big melty chunk. Oh, slippery. And again, we'll stir this. Probably don't need to go for 30 seconds with what we have in this glass, and also with how icy, also because of how melty my ice is getting. That's good right there. I have an orange peel here, so let's go for it. Let's do a little orange peel on top. Rub it on, and I'm going to get rid of this. We don't need to keep it in the drink. Here's our bamboo. Wow. I love this. This is delicious. It's so unique. Sippable, but it's not like drinking a Manhattan or a martini where you're like, having a glass of booze. The Averna really does add a nice viscosity, and I think any lighter sweet Amaro that'll play off the sort of nutty flavor of your sherry will work in here just fine. Again, this is my tweak on a couple of different recipes, but I think I did a good job. So I hope everybody enjoyed all of the low ABV cocktails and lower in alcohol options I've done this month. The big announcement I have is that next month is going to be the opposite. I'm going to do nothing but tiki, and it's going to be a bit of a learning experience for me as well. I've been reading some cocktail books and Googling different recipes, learning about different rums, but I think as a Hawaiian shirt enthusiast and longtime cocktail bartender, though I do have some experience making tiki drinks, I just really want to spend the next month doing a deep dive on that. So I think it's pretty exciting, and I hope that you do too. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you can stay up to date on all of the tiki drinks and syrups and other plentiful things I'll be making all August long. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and cheers. Oh, I can't pick a favorite.